Hey, cousin. Yes, you, I'm talking to you. If you test positive for HSV1 or you test positive for HSV2, you are a cousin. Welcome to my channel. Today's Slay the Stigma Friday, and I recently did a poll in my channel on Instagram asking what you would like to see more of on my YouTube channel. And someone said they want to talk about rejection after disclosure. So today's topic is rejection after disclosure. Hey, cousins, welcome to my channel. I am Shana Singleton. If you are new here, I'm Coach Shana Singleton, founder of Slay the Stigma, where I help women break free from shame so that they can get laid. I'm also the founder of Hey Cousins, growing the largest herpes awareness platform because I inspire people to love themselves more. My mission is to be at war with the stigma until our community feels comfortable being open about their status and proud of their sexuality. Welcome. Today's a loaded topic, and a lot of people probably not going to like my answers, but so be it, right? Rejection after disclosure. What to do? Well, first of all, for someone to ask me a question like that, that means they have a hard time dealing with rejection. And I kind of have a theory on why you might have a hard time dealing with rejection. Rejection has the ability to validate how you feel about yourself, right? Oftentimes, most people, when they find out they have herpes, they become their biggest bully and they start to tell themselves things like they're worthless, no one would ever want them, their sex life is over, their adult therapy life is over. They'll never have a family. They'll never have children. These are just some of the limiting beliefs that people dump on themselves when they find out that they have herpes, right? So they tend to think that the rejection is a result of their herpes. So, say if they were to disclose their herpes from a place of lack of self-acceptance, they're crying during disclosure, they're saying it's okay if you don't want to be with me, they're dumping a whole bunch of facts on a person. They never take a step to think, well, maybe I'm making my herpes seem scary. Why am I asking somebody to accept something that I haven't done the work to accept for myself? A lot of the times, the rejection can stem from the lack of self-acceptance versus your herpes altogether. But when you haven't done the work to accept your virus, the rejection automatically in your head means that, see, I was rejected because of my herpes. So the rejection means I am unworthy of love. I am damaged goods. I will never find love and no one would ever want to be with me. It validates all the things that you already felt about yourself, all the judgments that you're already making about yourself. A lot of time when people fear disclosure, they fear coming across someone who feels and thinks like them, right? So my suggestion is, if the rejection hurts, let that be a sign that there's some healing that needs to be done, right? Rejection hurts less when you change the way you feel about yourself. There once was a time where rejection would have hurt me too, right? I would feel worthless and damaged and no one would ever want me. But it wasn't until I've done the work to learn how to accept my virus and I learned how to stop rejecting me where rejection started to mean something different. My good friend always says rejection is redirection. Because I have went through the process of learning how to accept this virus for myself, if I were to experience rejection, it more so turns into I have trust and faith in my energy that it's going to repel from me who is not supposed to be there and attract to me exactly who I am. Me personally, I don't want anyone who doesn't want me. I'm not choosing anyone who doesn't choose me. I am not wasting my energy or giving power to someone who doesn't see my value, to someone who doesn't see my worth. to someone who doesn't value my time and my space and my energy, to someone who didn't want to go the extra mile and put in that work, right? So now the rejection is just, okay, that person's not for me. What's for me will not pass me by, right? And it's just, I gotta date somebody new. My mindset when it comes to rejection is that there's always going to be a reason why someone may not want me, right? Someone might not want me because of my credit score. Someone might not want me because of debt. Someone might not want me because I say rich rising. Someone might not want me because I'm Black. Somebody might not want me because my eyes are brown and they prefer girls with blue eyes. Someone might not want me because I wore a wig one day. Someone might not want me because I wear makeup sometimes. Someone might not want me because I wear my hair naturally, right? Even outside of myself. There's so many reasons why someone may not want you. Someone might not want you because you're Christian. Someone might not want you because you smoke cigarettes. Someone might not want you because you eat meat. Someone might not want you because you still eat McDonald's. There's always going to be a reason why someone may or may not want you, right? You kind of got to make your want enough, your acceptance enough, so that you're not seeking it from people outside of yourself. And then them accepting your virus becomes a requirement. You must accept my herpes if you want to be in my life. You accept all of me or you don't deserve none of me, point blank, period. And if you can't accept this, hey, I'll open the door for you and send you on your way. Because I want somebody who wants to be with me for me and not for what I have to offer in between my legs. Okay, easier said than done. Well, Shana, how do I get to that point? Because rejection hurts me and I can't change the way I feel about myself. I cannot change how I feel about my virus. I'm having a hard time accepting my virus. Well, I have another theory on why this is, right? I think you've been conditioned or you have been brought up to love yourself only conditionally and not unconditionally. Listen up, right? From the time we are children, whoever raises you, mommy, daddy, guardian, whoever it is, right? They praise you for all the things that they deem is good. Doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It's what they deem is good. And then they disapprove for all the things that they deem is not good, right? So then you spend your childhood seeking the praise from mommy and daddy and avoiding the disapproval from mommy and daddy. So much so that it becomes a habit. And when you move forward into your adult life, you start to do this with other people and with society. You tell yourself, I'm worthy of love in the areas that society told me I'm worthy of love in, right? That society praises. But for something like herpes, right? Society doesn't deem that worthy of love. And because society disapproves in STDs, that means this area of my life, this thing that's a part of my truth, is unworthy of love. So you're telling yourself, I'm unworthy of unconditional love. Here's the gag, right? The things that you dislike, disdain, and hate within yourself were meant to teach you unconditional love. Love is not just loving all the things that society deems worthy of praise in your life. Love is making space and holding space for all of you, everything, the good, the bad, the indifferent, everything. So you have to go on the process of learning how to love yourself unconditionally by holding space for and showing yourself some compassion and learning how to love the things you don't necessarily praise within yourself. This was my personal journey. There was one point I used to hate my eyes. So I had spent like a year in 2020 making content with no makeup at all, just so that I can learn to love my face the way it is. It was a time I would never even walk outside the house without makeup on my face. That's how much I hated my eyes. There was a time when I didn't smile with teeth because I hated all the little small gaps that I have in my teeth. And for the longest time, I smiled like this because I hated my teeth so much, right? So I spent the year forcing myself to smile in pictures, to hold space for something I dislike in myself so that I can learn to love myself unconditionally. These were uncomfortable things for me to do. These were things I didn't want to do. These were things I wasn't used to doing, but I had to step outside of my comfort zone to show myself something new, to learn how to accept all of me and to love and embrace all of me. I'm a Black woman that grew up in a fair-skinned Hispanic family who had fine, straight hair. So for the long, and I had aunts and a grandmother who was the I know Black Hispanic, okay? So my name was Morena and Negrita, little Black girl, basically, from people that I love and cherish. So much so I grew up with identity issues. I started to hate my skin and hate my hair. So much so I would avoid going in the sun, avoid going in water. I would dye my hair jet black so that I can look lighter. I would keep my hair straight and keep it with weave so that I can look more like the women in my family. My dad's a Black man. He's attracted to women who don't look like me. My stepfather was a Black man. It's obviously he's attracted to women who don't look like me. So I internalized a lot of that. So I spent time in my no makeup season, even cut all my hair off and said, I'm never going to put heat in my hair again. Even though I didn't like my 4C, 4B hair at the time, I need to hold space for it because the things that we hate, disdain, and dislike within us were meant to teach us unconditional love. If you don't do the work to make yourself uncomfortable, to hold space and show yourself some compassion and learn how to love the things you don't necessarily praise within yourself, then you'll always kind of struggle with rejection. You'll always struggle with loving yourself conditionally, i.e. herpes. No one loves having herpes. No one loves the fact that they have herpes. All right? I had to learn how to love my life with herpes. I had to learn how to love my herpes. I had to seek a new perspective. I had to seek a new point of view. I had to embrace it. I had to start talking about it. I had to start sharing my story. I had to start researching it and learning about it and collecting my data. That's how I learned how to hold space for my herpes virus, how to embrace my herpes virus, accept my herpes virus, and welcome it with open arms. This is my journey and my process of learning how to love myself unconditional. When you're doing the things that are making you feel uncomfortable and you're doing them anyway for the sake of how you love yourself, just to be intentionally show up for yourself, when you start to love yourself unconditionally and not conditionally anymore, you stop giving a F about how other people feel about you because now all your energy is spent on how you feel about you versus other people's opinions. And when you start showing up for yourself in that way and learning how to love yourself unconditionally, you start requiring that from people outside of yourself. You won't accept anything less because that's the love that you give. We show people how to love us through how we love us. So if rejection pains you, if you fear it, if you don't know how to get over it after it's happened, use it as a sign that maybe you only love yourself conditionally. And maybe there's this journey you need to start to learn how to love yourself unconditionally. Make a list of all the things you disdain, dislike, or hate within yourself. That is your teach me how to love myself unconditionally list. Set some goals. How are you going to learn how to love these parts of yourself that you dislike? How are you going to make space for these parts of yourself that you dislike? What are you going to do about it? All right. So that's my advice on handling rejection after disclosure. It's a sign because rejection, we don't want it to hurt. We want to be turned off. Ew, you don't want me? I'm the blessing, I'm the prize. You don't recognize that? That's unattractive, right? You accept my herpes or you can walk. I'm not dealing with nobody who's scared of my herpes. Thanks for letting me know. Goodbye. What's for me will not pass me by. I don't get chosen, I do the choosing, and I'm not choosing anyone who ain't choosing me. Come on now. Everything is created in the mind before we see it in our reality. It's important that you know that. Something as simple as this YouTube channel, this computer I'm recording on, an airplane, all of those things started with a thought in the mind. If thoughts can manifest into things like computers and having people flying from point A to point B around the world in airplanes, imagine what thoughts are creating in your own life. If you don't like your personal reality, you have to be willing to change your personality. You have to be willing to change your mindset. Sometimes it just starts with observation. Observing yourself. How do you think? How do you act? How do you react? What do you say? What do you do? Who do you hang around? How do you feel? How often do you sit with yourself? How much time do you spend with self? How much money have you invested in your mindset? Just observe yourself before we even get to the acknowledgement phase. Become aware of who you are and how you are showing up to cause your own pain and suffering in your own life. That is the start of change. Let me know in the comment section if this helps you, what resonated, what aha moments that you had. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Every Monday, I drop a tip. Every Wednesday, I'm educating you about the virus. And every Friday, we are dismantling the stigma. I'm Coach Shana Singleton, and I help women stop outbreaks and break free from shame so that they can get laid. I'll see you on Monday.